And we come to our last, certainly not the least, but last. And this goes to Joe McGrath, Outstanding Innovative Leader at Mount Vernon. The success of Joe McGrath's approach as Administrator for Technology for the Mount Vernon City School District is evident in the way everyone around him shares his excitement for instructional technology. This is true from the most veteran educators down to the youngest students. Those hesitant to take on new challenges are put at ease through the support made available in the form of tutorials, learning opportunities, and professional development. Joe shares his vision of technology integration with teachers during twice-monthly Technology Links meetings and keeps in touch through the Schoology learning management system. He has fostered an engaging digital age learning culture by providing students with devices and the resources they will need to be successful in the modern world. He in turn empowers educators and models excellence in professional practice by demonstrating his craft and enabling teachers to bring those skills into their classrooms. We have a great team, and a huge piece of our success has been the collaboration, the cooperation, and the partnering with our teachers, McGrath says. We have incredible leadership in the district. The superintendent is phenomenal, and the deputy superintendent is phenomenal. The board has been really supportive. The district is increasingly valuing technology, he says. Over the last 4 years, technology has more and more become woven into the educational experience of all students in every classroom across 17 buildings. The lyric has been amazing. I will tell you that working with the technical support crew, we have moved mountains and we have used data in innovative ways. Joe leads by example, says music teacher Audrey Rome, earning buy-in from all stakeholders in the mission of increasing technology capacity, from cell phone plans for high school students to new devices, laptops for the cohort of teachers. He follows through and makes himself available to ensure students receive the best educational experience. His work aligns with systematic improvement seen in the amount of technology seen district-wide and with digital citizenship, evident in every student account on Schoology. Student email accounts and student access to digital resources and software, romance. I'm always inspired by Mr. McGrath to incorporate technology in my classroom for the sake of the students, and I know my colleagues feel the same way. She says, Mr. McGrath provides us with the means to achieve those goals, and he gives us a quick answer when troubleshooting. He makes us proud to work for our district and provide our students with the very best resources in technology. He says he stays true to his classroom roots and is quick to share credit with others for the district's success in increasing technology capacity. He remains approachable, and his eagerness to help students is contagious. He demonstrates himself daily to be an outstanding innovative leader in this field. Joe?
We're going to start with a few words from our Deputy Superintendent, Dr. Jeff Barlow.
Good afternoon, everyone. Oh, you see, this is what happens when you get the after lunch presentation, and one sits in. So, Joe and I, we were talking about me introducing him because we've been such partners on this journey of reform work that we've been doing. Dr. Allington, our superintendent, would have been here, and but he is currently with 30 of our students at the IBM Data Center in New York, and the kids are going through the augmented reality lab there, the Watson Jeopardy lab there, and they're doing some really cutting-edge, dynamic, innovative things. So Jennifer, congratulations, you're spot on with the definition of innovation when this book by George Couros talks about the innovator's mindset, right? And the innovator's mindset is to empower learning, unleash talent, and lead a culture of creativity. And so the great thing about working with Joe is that Joe's an educator first, then a tech guy. And when Dennis, you just talked about technology, the only people that talk about technology are the ones that aren't born with it. Kids that have smartphones and are living in this day and age, they don't even use the word technology. And all this talk about blended learning and personalized learning and flipped classroom, in 10 years it's just going to be learning. So we're right on the cusp of a major paradigm shift, and I couldn't be happier working with Joe in this reform work. He and I spend hours together. We're always checking in, and we're always grappling with the best way to set a vision. And we do it through 4 tenets of culture, leadership, instruction, and instruction and systems, the most pertinent one. So we've been working laboriously to create these systems that were not in place, and now are starting to come in place. And by them coming in place, we're now at the point where we're starting to really lead and actualize our vision. And so it's great to come here today, and my conversations with Joe and our work behind the scenes, and then him telling me that our kids and our teachers are here presenting with us today. And I talked to Sarah, who said, it's such an easy flip to bring the kids here, and it's such a small thing, but sometimes we lose focus of what we're all here for. And so we are trying to really move that adult-centered environment to a student-centered environment. And Joe, being an educator at heart, is always right there for the kids, and I think that's what separates him from others that I've worked with over the years. I get to visit throughout the United States. I'm part of a digital consortium with the Superintendents Association, AASA, and go out to Missouri a little bit. But we've gone all over to see best practices in technology, Napa Valley, Seattle, Washington, some really innovative places. And the kids are always at the front of the work, and it's great that we are putting the kids at the front of the work. So it's a long journey, and more good things are happening now, and like this award for Joe today is an incredible indication of some of the great things that are happening today. I also want to acknowledge some of our administrators here. Dr. Walden, our Associate Superintendent of Curriculum and Instruction, just say hi. Dr. Gail Wallace, our everything in the district. And so, when you talk about what he likes best about your job, Jennifer, it's not a job. This is just fun coming to work and doing this type. It's not even work. It's just fun coming and working to get kids prepared for a world that we really are turning over to them, and a world where the jobs now are not going to be the same in 20 years from now, and getting them college and career ready. So Joe, this is like step one. We got some more work to do, but we are definitely on our road. Congratulations and best wishes, and I couldn't be prouder of you.
I gotta follow that. So a couple things. So I am Joe McGrath. I've been in this game for a long time. I have written grants personally to bring millions of dollars into the district. We've done one-to-one. I've rewired the entire city. We've done VoIP systems. We've done special groups with students and teachers. I've been nominated for this award numerous times and never won. I am officially the Susan Lucci of So thank you all for that.
The mail.
The mail. Sitting here. So, I'm going to tell a story. Okay, so it's a little dark right now, but it's okay. The story did start dark. When I got to Mount Vernon, there was no technology. There was no technology. I literally waited 6 months to get a computer. There was no technology. There was wiring. There was no computers in classrooms. There was nothing. And I worked very hard to move the ball forward, very hard. And so this is the story of that progress and what changed once we got actual like-minded people like Dr. Gorman, like the superintendent, Dr. Ken Hamilton, thinking and getting that technology, when used the right way, can transform lives. So let's start talking about some technology. Let's start talking about Mount Vernon. So we have 16 schools and a youth shelter. It's not a small place. There's over 80,000 students, roughly 700 teachers, and about 900 instructional spaces. It is not a small place. So change in a large place takes a lot of effort. Some interesting people who come from there. Right? Denzel Washington, Art Carney, Dick Clark, Mrs. Huxtable herself, Mr. Tom. Right? We have some interesting, it's a very dynamic and diverse and fun, interesting place. So, you know, this is part of the fabric now, right? Before I get too far, I want to stop and recognize some other people that are here. We have some members of my staff because this does not happen by itself. I have George, our network engineer, we have John, we have Sean from there, we have Felicia, we have so many people here. I'm not going to name because I'm just going to go on. But there's two people that I do want us to really point out, only because they shape and put up with me. And my father is here today, and my wife is here. So let's give it a Now let's talk about technology. So 1650, the Horn Book was introduced. Now this had the benefit of also having the curriculum there and what they refer to as the attention getter. And, in 1870, the magic lantern, this is an interesting device. So there's a little oil light, and you put slides over it, and it broadcasts the big picture. So this didn't really become that widespread for a long time. The pencil wasn't invented for another 30 years, so note-taking is, problematic. But the magic lantern, small light, big picture. Of course, eventually that's replaced with the interactive whiteboard. Now, in Mount Vernon, we didn't see these for about 10 years, and I know a lot of schools have them way ahead of time. And they didn't become ubiquitous. They didn't become in every classroom until about 2 years ago. So this has been our struggle, and this has been where we've been trying to put stuff. And learning is not about stuff, but you need stuff. So all these progress, all this change, things are trying to move stuff, and then we ran into 4 years of austerity budgets. Now, austerity budget means your budget doesn't pass. You cannot spend money on technology for 4 years. Do you know what that does? You can't spend money on equipment for 4 years. There's no money for technical support. We literally would canvass universities and many districts here for their used stuff. We could find spare parts, and we Frankenstein a lot of computers just to keep things moving. Now, it was said to me many times, Joe, someone as qualified as you and as sane as you, which I question, would have left a long time before that. And that's exactly why I didn't leave, because I didn't think that they would find somebody else crazy enough to take the job on, just to hold the ball. But after years of trying to hold it up, we were going the wrong direction. And so I made a very bold decision. I was going to use data, I was going to go out publicly and talk about how bad things were to the new leadership that had come to the district. And two things happened. First, they said, how could you let that happen? And second, they said, we need to do something about that. So here's some interesting stuff about then versus now. Then, 2012. So I'm going back 6 years, and the reason I'm going back 6 years is because that's the time that a child born 6 years ago is now in kindergarten. So just think about that, the district that the child was born into versus the one that they ended up going to. 6 years ago, the iPhone 5 is out. The iPad has been out for 2 years. Netflix is already accounting for 1/3 of all internet traffic. Right? Many districts have started that one-to-one mobile initiative. In Mount Vernon, we have 70 mobile devices. Right? Over 70% of the 2,500 workstations are over 6 years old. Try managing that with no staff. Okay? 2 in 16 schools have smart boards, and there's no plan, no funding for anything else, and there's no dedicated instructional support whatsoever. Okay? We have one technician for every 4 schools. That has to go out and find spare parts. You can imagine the teacher technology experience. It wasn't good. So I had to come out and publicly talk about this a lot, and get people behind it, and some grants, and this is what 2014 looked like. This is the district that Dr. Gorman, Dr. Hamilton walked into. So this is 2 years after me really saying enough is enough, I'm going to put my foot down, I'm going to try something different, and really working the culture angle. 3D printers at this point become available. The Apple Watch was announced. Nationally, mobile learning moves to the forefront and really gains a name. Cloud computing is now talked about. All schools in Mount Vernon now have one laptop card, so we moved. Right? A quarter of those classrooms now have smartboards. 90% of those 2,500 desktops have been replaced. So a lot of work, just to try and level set. And the reason that this made this worthwhile for me is because I never, ever faltered in my belief or my reason. I understood my why very clearly, right? Why was I doing this? Very clear, right? We did get a little bit more technicians, but not much. When Dr. Gorman and Dr. Hamilton got there, we really started talking about the curriculum conversations, really talking about the difference that it could make. And we know that it can make a huge difference. We know that. Right? My kids are also here today. Oliver's here. I was excited about coming here today. She said, "So Dad, why are you giving this award?" I said, "I gotta go." And then she said, "No, really, what do you do?" And I was so excited. I said, "I change the world and I invent the future." Right? New coffee. Right? So she said, "Okay, so what do you do?" I don't really know. But because it's different every day, right? But it's not about what you do, it's the impact of what you do that counts. So knowing this, and knowing that here, after years of just holding down the fort and trying very hard, and holding on to my why, what was important to me, I now have a chance, a real opportunity to make a difference, and I could not squander it. This is it. These opportunities come along once, you have to grab it. So I needed some wisdom. Where could I do this? Something I refer to the wisdom of the two Jeffs. Okay? So there's Jeff Gorman, who you met earlier. Here's Jeff. And I'll tell you something about Jeff. He is an incredibly results-driven, big-picture, supportive guy. Couldn't do it without Jeff. Amazing guy. Jeff is a great thinking partner. We talked about that. We spent a lot of time ironing things out. He understands culture change. He understands change management. He gets big-picture stuff. And he's very non-wavering about the vision. This does work. This does make a difference. And Jeff's also a big fan of partnerships. And under the wisdom of Jeff, we started fostering better partnerships with the RIC, better partnerships with Microsoft, better partnerships with Apple. And it's really blossomed. And you can't do this by yourself. Which brings me to the other Jeff. You don't know who it is. I can see your face right now. The other Jeff. Same faces. Never thought you'd see the face of the same, but you could like separate it apart. All right, cool. So Jeff is known for what's called his Jeffism, and Jeff talks about things like 2-day shipping. Right? Love 2-day shipping. Talks about the fact you need to obsess over the customer, not competition. Focus on the people in front of you. Jeff talks about things like take risks and empower people. And Jeff says, make employees think like owners. This is great. This is a great place to start the wisdom. But this is not going to get me where I need to go. I need more than just the wisdom of the two Jeffs. I need the wisdom of the two Jeffs and Joe. So with some Joeism, how do I translate some of that wisdom into stuff that I can actually make action with? So 2-day shipping. What do I like about 2-day shipping? There's no problem I can't solve in 2 days, right? It's nothing you can't wait 2 days. Our tech support model had fallen so far back, it was weeks to get something repaired. A teacher would put in a work order or ask for help, and it would take a very long time. It's very frustrating. So what are you going to do as a teacher? You're going to put that technology aside, you're going to move on. But if I could move it, and get maybe not all, but some, maybe most of those work orders resolved in 2 days, now I've got a valuable tool. So, 2-day response time. We moved to a company for all printer repairs, next step. And now just like everything else, 2-day repairs. Obsess over customers translates to focus on the user experience. We moved to something called single sign-on. Our students have one username, one password for everything. Right? And as far as taking risks, you have to be open to failure and growth. You have to own when stuff goes south. Because if you don't own it, you can't fix it. Right? And empowering people includes parents and students. So, meaning give them all the resources that they have at school at home. Move to the cloud to make everything accessible all the time. And instill this cosmic wisdom, this common why. Get everyone on the same page and talk about why we're here. You're not there to fix a computer. You're there to change a life. Because if you fix that computer, that teacher's going to use that computer, the kids are going to benefit, and now you don't know what you changed. You don't know. But talk about the why. And get everyone to understand that we're not there to do our little piece. That's the how. The why is the important piece. Today, very different place. 3,500 mobile devices, up from just 70 6 years ago. All right, 4 years ago there was 1,350, now there's 3,500 mobile devices. These kids are using something called Tiggly. Tiggly's a little manipulative in their pre-K. Right? We have high school students who don't have access at home. We're giving them free cell phones. And we have plans to do so for the next 4 years through a free partnership done with Boston District Gaming. Free cell phones, free plans. Any high school student that wants them. All learning spaces, all of them. Remember, there's 900 interactive boards. And technical support actually facilitates classroom use. Remember, our goal is most of them in 2 days. So let's define most. 50%, 60%, 90%. Right? We adopted something called snow. I know nobody wants to talk about snow anymore. We're done with snow. I just dreamed that it was canceled with snow. Right? So SNOW stands for Service Now. It's the very cool. And I'm having seen the power of using data to change culture, I'm a very big proponent of using the data. This is just one of the slides. But we talk about all sorts of stuff. We talk about individuals, who closed tickets, who didn't close tickets, what kind of tickets get left open. We look at this in 10 different ways. We move the tickets that the technicians can't solve out of their queue. And we did have more technicians, so now we have about 1 per building. But still, to get these kind of results, you're using that data consistently, constantly. And every week we sit and we pore over the data, and we look for ways to make it better. For hours. Right? Our instructional support now has changed. Robust partnerships. Right? We talk about these meetings with these technology liaisons, so that everyone understands what's happening, and we're looking for cohesiveness in our instruction. We have great employees in the district all the time, and they're phenomenal. Right? Raise your hand if you're a member. A lot of folks. That's why I want to name y'all. Right? And I really enjoy the partnership. I really enjoy the partnerships. And I really enjoy the partnership with Dennis too. And I love the thinking partnership that's developed. It's really been a lot of fun. It really has. So we've got a change in culture. Now we're celebrating Power of Code, Digital Learning Week. We've got instructional technology curriculum. And we're frequently looking at our data instructionally to see if it's working. Here's some, this is the back. This is work. We saw this already program. Kids that are using it with fidelity, 91% of them are meeting the goal. Fidelity meaning they're using it 45 minutes or more a week. Kids that are not are only getting 67% of them are meeting the goal. So we know where our work is. We know who we need to work with. Now you say, okay, well that's good, but who cares about the program? I only really care about the New York State test score. So how do I relate that to New York State test scores? And you do a correlation study, and we do see that they're closely correlated, which means that if we can get our teachers to use the program with fidelity, it'll help the kids with test scores, which is kind of amazing. This is a transformed district where 6 years before there was nothing. Or 6 years before most of the computers were beyond useless. Right? Now, is there any impact with actual test scores? Right? And actual instructional impact. So, the fact that our cloud technology is there, the I-rated students is being used. 16 of our pre-K classes now have coding and robotics as part of their core curriculum. Right? Schoology, our learning management system, which just soft launched this year, has over 30,000 minutes, and that they're opening a STEAM high school this fall. This is a major cultural. Now, let's look at the test scores. Over 4 years, math has gone up by 50%. ELA has more than doubled. And graduation rates saw a growth of over 18%. And in part, I played a little role in it, right? We have the people here that played a huge role in it, right? But we got to be part of that. And that's the why, that's the mission, is we're actually affecting lives here. It's very powerful when you think about it this way. But we know that technology does more than just help kids do well on test scores. We know the power that it has to help kids be creative. We know the power that it has to help kids find their way to be successful. Right? You guys see this? Right? This is the old way. We know we can move this. We know it. So, one of the really powerful things that Dr. Hamilton said to me when he came here was, this was your first day. You had tabula rasa. What would you change? And there were some changes. There was some reorganization, there was some moving, there was some rethinking. But one of the biggest pieces for me was to take all the different components that we have, all the different people that are working in the district, right, and get them to understand that common vision, that common why. Because without it, the work is laborious, it's hard, and you're going to have your hard years, you're going to have your hard days. But if you have one mission, you have one why, it becomes easier to stay focused. Right? So, there's a great TED Talk on this, talking about finding your why. Right? I'm not going to play the TED Talk. Yeah. So, when it comes to the why for most people come from their life experiences, comes from their challenges, their suffering, their joys, their wonders. And how do you know when you found my purpose? I think if you're an educator, if you're fortunate enough to be in this business, the why is right in front of you. You just have to remember to look. And you almost want the kids to come at you and just tell you.
You are the why.
I am the why.
I am the why.
I am the why.
I'm the why.
I'm the why.
So, we're almost done. There's one more special surprise for you guys. Miss Audrey Rome, who wrote me, is here with her students. She performed for you guys. Miss Rome, thank you.